Wrestling World watched in awe last Monday as the Wyatt Six made their jaw-dropping debut, creating havoc and delivering on their promise of a massacre to close out Raw. After a SmackDown featured increased security measures, what did the group have in store for the Superstars of Monday Night Raw? And yeah, there's much more on the show as well, including Money in the Bank qualifier and some big matches too. But we kicked off with Drew McIntyre on the heels of a brutal beatdown that left CM Punk bloodied in his hometown Chicago. He interrupted Michael Cole's show opening and wasted little time discussing Friday. He revealed beating Punk down and denounced the fans who still chant for him, and said he will enter the Money in the Bank. The Scot showed a bracelet that he took from Punk's wrist Friday with the names AJ and Larry on it, and vowed to win the briefcase. It was a great promo from a fiery McIntyre. He spoke with conviction, everything you said you could believe, and that's really good. His entry into Money in the Bank could be ironic and could potentially another chance for Punk to cost him. But moving on then to Bron Breakker against Ludwig Kaiser. 1 week after turning Kaiser inside out with a spear, Bron looked to obliterate the German for a second consecutive week. Kaiser impressed, doing more damage to the former champ than expected, but Breakker fought back with awe-inspiring offense. But it was Kaiser who controlled late as he set off to run around the ringside area and slam Breakker's head into the ring steps. Sheamus rocked him, drawing the DQ and repaying Kaiser interference from a week ago. Breakker cut off a powerbomb by the Celtic Warrior with a spear and stood tall to end the segment. The interference made sense based on what we witnessed a week ago between Sheamus and Kaiser, while Breakker continued to see his win-loss record hampered by the vendetta of the others. Baker was a babyface here, and the commentary was any indication that could be the direction we're heading, and we've seen him do it well with Corbin before, so yeah, I'm not against it. 7 out of 10. Before it's time for a Money in the Bank qualifier, Valkyria versus Sane versus Baszler, and Valkyria continued her successful early main roster run with a victory here. To do so, she had to overcome 2 women who know each other extremely well. Of course, had a great rivalry in NXT. Alert and aware, she took advantage of Sane's trademark elbow drop to Baszler and then delivered a Nightwing for the win. The outcome continued Valkyria's run, while Sane's loss is sure to incite anger in the US guy, who continues to insist that damage control must change. The chemistry was great, the action was ever better, and the right competitor went over. You cannot ask much more than that in a triple threat, which will become somewhat stale with all of these qualifying matches, but I thought it was really good and delivered for me. So yeah, on the whole, it gets a 7 out of 10. Before, the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan hit the ring and again looked to win over Dom Mysterio, promising to follow out the gifts that she'd already given Daddy Dom with one more in front of the entire crowd. Zelina Vega interrupted and challenged Morgan to a match for the title right there. Morgan refused, instead looking forward to next week before Mysterio made his presence felt. The crowd jeered towards Mysterio, kept him from voicing his reasons before a tussle between Morgan and Vega ensued. Rey Mysterio interrupted and tried to stop Morgan, only to be shoved to the mat by his son. The segment ended with Morgan following closely behind Dom and continued the storyline as they come closer under the constant advances. It also set Vega as the next challenger, seemingly for next week's show. Either way, it's a great spot for the underrated Vega to find herself in, with the added element of the Mysterio family feud. Her match against Morgan could be a lot of fun. So yeah, I like the way they did it, combining multiple different areas. I think it's all meshing well nicely together. So yeah, good stuff. We then got another qualifier between Braun Strowman, Chad Gable, miraculously, and Bronson Reed. Chad Gable survived the brutal assault by the Wyatt Six a week ago, and after concerns about his ability to compete, he not only took this to the square circle, but also won the bloody match against Two Monsters. The victory came for an assist from the Judgment Day, which continued its ongoing rivalry with Braun by taking him out of the equation, allowing Gable to pick up the pieces of Reed for the win. The triumph was short-lived, however, as the lights dimmed and the singular piano note the Wyatt Six played. The artist formerly known as Nikki Cross terrified Gable out of the ring before delivering a pox to Michael Cole. After the break, Cole revealed a VHS label Play Me, which we saw later in the night. But yeah, this was really good. Nothing too major, but I don't think we need it at this point after what happened last week, but continues that ongoing rivalry with Chad Gable and where it's all going. Yeah, very intriguing. 7 out of 10. Before we got Katana Chance and Caden Carter against Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. And yeah, it's their first appearance since winning the title in a non-titles match. They absorbed their high energy opponents, threw them and earned them the win. The celebration was non-existent. There was damage control attack the title holders, setting up the next program. Considering the lack of established women's tag teams, going back to damage control, it's hardly a bad idea. If nothing else, it provides this division with a fresh matchup, which is something it could definitely use. But yeah, I mean, like, it was such an emotional moment for them winning the tag titles there, and that's kind of all they got here. No celebration or anything like that, no comments. Yeah, it was a bit weird. So in that case, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Before the World Heavyweight Champ Damian Priest hit the ring to discuss his match with Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank, he claimed the Visionary would never get the title back as long as he was the champ. Rollins fired back, claiming Priest would not be the champion without the Judgment Day and Punk. The segment reached its crescendo with Rollins offering Priest an ultimatum: if the champion retains, the challenger will never get a shot at the world title again. If Rollins wins, though, Priest has to lead the Judgment Day. The Archer for me said the Judgment Day needs him more than he needs them. He accepted, only for Gunther to make his way up to the ring, and said he couldn't wait to see who would lose to him at SummerSlam. It suddenly has a greater meaning, that match, now with Gunther coming back as well, the person's fighting him, and I just thought this was a really big segment with 3 key players moving forward. Before Cole through to the video that had been delivered earlier in the night, in it Uncle Howdy interviewed Bo Dallas, asking him how he felt about the loss of Bray Wyatt, to which the former NXT champion said it was like losing the most important thing in his life. Dallas said, "We made them remember." A smiling Howdy responded, "Yes, we did." The video ended with a wide shot of Dallas and Howdy sitting across from each other. But it's obvious they were one and the same, which was accomplished with a split screen. This was interesting that it introduced Dallas, who played the interview, and Howdy himself, who was going in the question. This is exactly what WWE had to accomplish on Monday night, and it did so effectively. This was Cinnamon, really. Before it's time for Kofi Kingston against Karrion Kross, and neither was accompanied to the ring by their opponents. The next chapter in the latest manipulation of Xavier Woods. As Kingston rolled in the match, Paul Ellering appeared on the video screen and asked if it was worth the cameras caught the AOP assaulting Xavier. Kross capitalised on the distraction and delivered the final prayer for the win. This did little to advance the ongoing storyline outside the idea that Kingston had a chance to rescue his New Day teammate, but didn't. The match wasn't particularly memorable either, with the commercial break interrupting its flow. The story has been a solid one, but the creative team has done such a lousy job of convincing fans to believe in Kross & Co. that all it rings hollow, resulting in silent crowds that should be buying into heels' attempts to manipulate Woods to break up the New Day. So I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10, unfortunately. We then got the World Tag Championship match, Awesome Truth versus the Judgment Day. The manipulative Morgan paid dividends for the Judgment Day, interfering in the closing moments this week's main event, assisting Balor and McDonough defeating Awesome Truth to become the new tag champs. The match was nothing we haven't seen out of this crop of competitors before, with the added element of Morgan as the creative team continued its portrayal of her as a legitimate star on Raw. The heels and victory makes sense no matter how entertaining they may have been. The tag champs were not prominently featured as their counterparts in their match. There's more to get out of Balor and JD as the champs. Throw in some teases of the shenanigans between Morgan and Balor, and the idea she helped them win the championship makes go more sense. And how it all going to time with Ripley returns, it's going to be so interesting. This was really good, 7 out of 10. And overall, Raw gets a 7 out of 10 for me. I thought this was a really good episode of Raw, actually. I really enjoyed it. We had loads of stuff on here, whether it be the changing the tag titles, the whole Wyatt 6 stuff was brilliant, and then some really fun matches as well, like Braun Ludwig, Drew stuff, all really good stuff, just filling up the 3 hours of Raw at the moment. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.